You open a curtain then.
Not a curtain.
Not a curtain, a window.
Curtains.
Sounding like Darth Vader again. You what, love?
Curtains.
Hey, little.
It's me and me, kid.
No. Notifications aren't working. I want to put my leg up, but I can't. I've got to do it right carefully, look.
Sophie, Scotty.
Hey, Sophie. Hey, Scots. Hey, Chelsea. Hey, Heidi.
Jules. Heidi. Hello.
Hope everybody's well this
Don't
evening. Hey, Yolanda. Messenger. Why has it took me off?
Yes, it does. It's still on.
Oh, okay. So it's that one, isn't it?
Yeah. Go on, keep going.
Oh, it's there.
Go on then. No, go on, click on it. There you go.
Has it sent it then?
Mm.
Sorry, guys. Just give me a minute. I'm messing. That's done.
When they closed it down then.
Don't close it down. Right, that's it. Evening, Kaz, Renette, Lewis. Hope you're well. Hope you have a good night, Lewis, tonight when you're exploring. Hey, Sam, Nanny Lynn, Steve, Yolanda. From Exploring Lewis and Exploring with Briggsy. I don't know if Briggs is with you, but hello to Briggsy as well. Hey, Mandy. Hi, Lynn. Hi, John. Love to you both. And all in chat. I did take twice because I thought, hang on the fuck, it's not Tuesday. I know, we've changed because weather's gone a bit rubbish. Evening, Cara. Bestie's on. Millie. It's not Millie. It's Damon. Do you know? He's going to get me. Yeah, see message, my lovely. I think we replied, Damon. So, Louis, are you out tonight or is weather stopping you from getting out? I know weather's stopped us from going out tonight because it's absolutely, we're chucking it down with rain earlier. Is it still raining?
I don't know.
I don't know, but it's forecast no rain for tomorrow. So we will be out tomorrow.
We switched it round.
Hey, Heather, my beauts, how are you? So yes, we've switched it round. So
I've got a curse from my head.
I don't know. I'm coughing. I got a right thingy in my throat. Hey, I've said hello to Kaz. So tonight, want to talk about some equipment. Yes, we're out tonight. Are you live streaming, Louis, or are you doing pre-recording? So, Corona. No, I'm free. So I think actually not going out in cold weather is not very good. So we're going to talk a bit about equipment that we use.
Not a tech talk.
Not a tech. No, tech talk you're going to do on other, aren't you?
Yeah,
but no. Evening, Nathan.
Piece of equipment do you guys
like? What don't you like?
Why?
How romantic, Lindsay.
Never been romantic.
Oh, Louis, you'll have to send me a link if you can message it, mate. And if it's before we've finished, I'll pop across when we've finished. If it's after, I'll be watching anyway.
TP's more romantic.
Investigation was cool the other night. Really enjoyed it. Is that one of the first times you've watched us, or have you watched us for a bit, Damon?
We got live tonight. Well, if they've gone
live.
If
they've already gone live. Oh,
well, you get a notification.
No, I didn't get a notification. Evening, Steve. So, what's the favourite? What out of the equipment we use?
Any equipment.
Any equipment. Right.
Any equipment.
Tell me some of your favourite equipment that you've seen us using, that you see other teams using, that you've watched a few. That's good, my lovely. So, what's your guys' favourite equipment? I mean, mine's got to be I like my Quantum. And I also liked that.
My balls?
No, well, I do like the flashy balls, yeah, but the thing. No.
Well, just going like this.
It's that big thing that he uses.
Thermal camera?
Equipment, what's not, and thingy-majigs.
Thermal camera?
No, we put portal, yeah, but I liked it the other night when we tried that portal on. Sending you an out, maybe out about 9 p.m. Cheers, my lovely. Thank you, Lewis. Rembear. My Rembear's fixed. It's fixed my Rembear, so that's good. Oh, it's Sam, love equipment. Started getting long-range hunting night vision and with a helmet to mount a monocular. That a monocular?
Mm.
A monocular, just haven't had a chance yet to use it.
Cool.
Wow. Is a monocular like binoculars then?
It's one.
But it's just like one.
Like a telescope.
It's like a telescope. Wow. Oh, Sam, you'll have to send us a picture when you've done that.
SLS portal, question mark.
Tri-field meter. Do we use a tri-field?
Unfortunately, I was looking at tri-field meters. I've been looking at them for ages, but the old tri-field meter, the one with the needles, the old analog ones, are like 300 quid now.
Are they really?
They're ridiculously expensive.
Can electricians get them?
No, not the, well, not any,
I'm just wondering if Dan could get one cheap.
But I mean, they don't do analog ones anymore.
Yeah, but Dan might know somebody who he works with. You could ask him if he's got somebody old school.
But yeah, the tri-field meters, the old ones that I like, they're like a box, and then they've got a dial on them with a needle that goes across, and then there's a couple of buttons that you twiddle to get different settings on it.
Right. Night vision and Zoom recorders are my faves.
You can get digital ones now, but they're not same.
Yeah. Don't remember names, but it's easier for me to say what I don't like. The one with the white noise in the background, is it SB7? Yes, Yolanda, it is SB7. Evening, Gillian, my beautiful lady. Evening, Diane. Monday. Yeah, it's SB7. I don't mind the spirit boxes, but I prefer when it's got no noise on it, when it's just a quiet one. Hey up, mate.
Well, my favourite is the spirit box.
Yeah.
But I haven't used it a lot because I haven't got a spirit box I like.
What about as Robert's one?
They're all noisy. They're all very, very noisy.
So what are you looking for?
SB11's just two-way noisy. SB7's too quiet, so you have to have it on an external speaker. But then when you put it onto an external speaker, it's too noisy.
Yeah.
That S box just makes an horrible noise half the time.
Yeah.
I used to have one, and I absolutely loved it.
Tony.
But it broke, and I'm not paying the price that I paid for that one to get another one.
Can't you make one of them?
No. But that's why I'm trying to make spirit boxes now, because I'm trying to make the perfect one for me, where it's a mixture of white noise but not too loud. Yeah. Because SB7 for me, the white noise, unless you put it through a portal with noise reduction on it, it is too loud.
Yeah. Cheers, Lewis. I'm just going to go back up a minute because I know they were. Julie likes Portal.
Portal.
Is the Portal, was that first time we've used it in a while when we used it?
No, I use it most nights.
You use it most nights, though.
But sometimes you just get nothing coming through it whatsoever.
Yeah. Yeah, you look like something off Call of Duty with the helmet. Basically antiques, them ones that you're after.
Yeah.
Necro, SLS.
Again, I like SLS, but you just have to be careful where you use SLS.
With SLS, and I have seen
it's a good piece of equipment to use with other things.
I think what I'd like to do is, when we can start going back and going inside, Evening Craig, Evening Tracy, when we can start going back into inside buildings, what I wouldn't mind doing is setting SLS camera up, but also like setting other things off. So it's not just picking the figure up, it's going to interact with other objects that are there as well as show itself on SLS. I think that's going to be one experiment that I'd like to do. I don't know whether I like the 12587. I don't know if that's the one you like.
No, it stops scanning like it does, and it always stops on 999.
Spiritus
so if you turn it upside down, it looks
Chelsea.
like 666.
Portal, Chelsea, is that what John put on the other day when we got it on them speakers? And you said, "Oh, I right like that one."
That's the tri-field meter that I would like, but they're just so expensive now. Them one you can't really see it.
Because it's lighting, I think.
That one. But they are antiques now. Vortex. I forgot about Vortex.
Yeah, I look Vortex. But for me, I think
you can get them like that now.
Yeah, but you don't want one of them. I think for me, with SLS camera, it's like John said. If we went live now with a Vortex, evening Sharon. If we went live now with the SLS camera, and I'd got it pointing that way. Over there, we've got a chair, we've got some dolls, and we've got some like units. I know if we were pointing it there, that I would pick up a stick figure, automatically pick one up, because there's too many things that it can home in on to pick it up, can't it? So it might look like something stood at the side of the chair, but it's actually the chair it's picking up. It's so,
you have to be very careful with SLS.
So hard.
It's a good piece of equipment, but unfortunately, because it uses the Kinect camera, the Kinect camera, that's its main job. It is there to map something in.
Yeah, exactly.
So it looks to map something in all the time.
Sam's put SLS will be good with further development because it does a lot more than stick figures. It can do 3D imaging. Exactly. So I think with SLS, it does need working on a little bit more and trying to get it. Oh, no.
No.
They'll get it next year.
No, I want to build my own spirit box, and that's what I'm looking at doing now, building my own spirit box.
I was answering yo about portals. Oh, right, I get you.
But it might be a bit of trial and error because I've ordered two or three different types of radios, and I'm like testing them to getting them to scan.
No worries, Scots. Yeah.
So I can see if I like the sound of them.
Yeah. Pop picks up anything that looks like a face and puts a body under it. It can. Evening, Loretta, my lovely. It can, Craig, and I think that's problem when you're working with quite a few bits of equipment. We've noticed it lately as well. You know, like when we do use the.
I do like SLS. It does make me look skinny when it picks me up.
We've noticed as well when we're using things like necrophonic, spiritus. Certain things like that, there is words that come out constantly, and it's like what me, John, and Chelsea were talking about it other day, and like we were saying, them words they're words that are automatically in there. So it'll come out, and I think it says "fear me" a lot, or you hear a voice say, "I'm very well." And that it's that to me, them work because the regular things they're not to answer your questions.
They were like that one we used. We used an app. I can't remember what it was called now.
But it was like an American one.
No, it was that one that had that grey screen, and then it had some red things around it, and it kept coming out. And first night we used it,
it was really good,
really relevant answers. We were like, "Oh my god!" And then I went out next night and I used it again, and it was coming out exactly the same answers. People
had actually downloaded that one. Oh, Kirsty, rest up, my lovely. That's really bad, that trapping a nerve in your back, my sweets. I'm going to send you some healing out, my lovely. Love the flashy balls.
That meter. Somebody's made one of them. One of the guys that I think it's I forgot his name now. He'll kill me, from Picture House and Haunted Museum. Steve. Yeah. Steve. I think it's Steve that's made one. He's turned a K2 meter and a toy.
Who are you gonna call?
Meter out of Ghostbusters. That one where arms go up. He's turned it into.
You don't need Ghostbusters. Warm in it. Yeah, it says that a lot, Chelsea. So there's certain things when you're hearing them and you hear same words coming out, that's because them words have been programmed in. But what
I'm not slugging this app off, by the way.
No, but what words you are looking for is like evening, Ellen, evening, smelly cat. What words you're looking for is like if we ask a question and the relevant response comes back out. So that's what makes it more interesting when we're getting them relevant responses.
Ghost Voice Box is the one we use.
Yeah, that everybody downloaded it, and we were all. Craig, didn't you download it as well? I know there were a few moderators, I think, that downloaded it, and a few others.
And first time we used it, it was like,
oh, it was brilliant,
it was amazing. It was like best thing we've ever downloaded. It was like,
and then next night it was just like exactly the same. You used one other day. I moved away. I was aware of a voice underneath, obvious voices, but close to my phone, I wasn't aware of the voice. Wow, we'll have to have a look what that one is. Oh, that's good, Kirsty. Evening, Gillian. She's on YouTube, Facebook. Well, what Facebook? Why do you watch, Gillian? Well, that's not on. That's no good. I wish Facebook could sort itself out. Because it's just not. It's not pushing any notifications out. It's not doing anything at minute. It's broken. Hope you're well, my lovely smelly cat. Hey, Helen, hope you're well, my lovely. But yeah, so for some apps, you have got to be really careful when you're listening to them. Paratech comes out with a lot of just random words, but then all of a sudden it comes out. I mean, other night when we went to that outside chapel, that chapel in the woods, and it has got links to the Battle of Somme. And it actually could, whether it's my ears playing up, but everybody heard the same thing. So we can't all have that hearing whatever it is. But it were.
Facebook can see it.
Yes.
See, Gillian is in.
She's in the house, is Gillian, but she's had to go on to YouTube. So yeah, it's but we got really relevant ones like to get stuffed. It comes out with you nutter all the time. Hey, Kazzy, hope you're well, my lovely.
You nutter more when you're there.
It does. The voice talking sounded like an alien was talking to you, saying he watched you. That could have been when we were on Portal, you know. You know, when you Portal up to Thingy Boxes, it could have been that one. Who let the dogs out? Woof, woof, woof. EVP, Craig, yeah, we love EVP Shifter. We actually told John and team about EVP Shifter. We just think it's an amazing thing, don't we? So, yeah.
We have, it seems to have updated and now it seems very distorted.
It does. It's going to, when you're using now, it update. You're okay, Kaz, Kazzy, my lovely.
It seems very distorted.
It seems very distorted when we're using it, so I don't know whether they've updated it, update's not gone right, or what. Hey, Tracy, no, I won't like to put one on my phone again. One night it started playing on its own through the night. Really, Trace? Wow. I don't know what I'd do if that happened, but yeah, EVP Shifter's got to be one of my favourites. A lot of people that watch us aren't really keen. I think there's about 5 of us that like EVP Shifter, because I think at first you've got to
some of the sounds that come out of it.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've got it on this one.
I don't know if I've got it off mine. But yeah, with EVP could have changed settings. And it might have automatically changed settings, Craig, and we've not checked settings. But yeah, it's a really good one. Why are you sorry, smelly cat? I call them alliums. Alliums. Have I said that right, smelly? Oh dear. Thinking that you can't see on Facebook, better in person than through live. Yeah, do you know, it possibly could be, but for me, I think you've just got to listen to words because they're not clear, but then it comes clear, doesn't it, as it starts coming through. End, Craig. But yeah, we think that one's brilliant. I know when John and Jojo heard it for the first time, they were like, "Oh my God, that's right good," and they use it. But yeah, it's such a really good piece of equipment to use that one. But there's so many others that probably haven't even been tested yet that are going to be quite
we need to look
good to use. We do need to start looking at different ones. Problem is with a lot of these apps, and you do evening, Janice, Fief. I know you can just eat shoes. What are you eating?
Yes. That's EVP shifter.
So that's what you hear on EVP shifter. For those of you that haven't done it, I love the parabolic microphone.
Parabolic.
What's that one? I only use it a few times because mine is huge. You can hear a mouse fart through that thing. Is that parabolic one? Is that speaker that you can hear?
It's like a microphone. It's got a dish thing on it.
Who did we work with that had one of them? We worked with somebody and they used one, and I said, I'll tell you who it were. They didn't use it while we were there. Simon listened to it when we worked with Jayne and Chris. When we went to that, what do you call it, where Simon always goes on about going? Elviston. I think they were there, and Simon listened to, because Chris has made his own.
All right.
Chris made his own version up. So yeah, like a mouse fart. Not many at free ones are good. No, I don't think they are. I'm okay, thanks. I slept 4 days before going to hospital for test on. Oh, Helen, let us know how you get on, my lovely. It's a very cool tool to have. But it is, I think a lot of them, I mean, again, I think what gets me is the prices. Now, okay, necrophonics and stuff, $9.99. But then you've got like Alice Box, and that's like 40 quid for Alice Box,
yeah,
or just under.
That's just like a word generator, isn't it?
But that's what I'm saying. It's same as Panoptes.
It's on Windows, yeah.
Yeah, but because it's on, and it just gets to me price of some of the apps that you have to actually download. Hey, Michael, hope you're well, my lovely. You did use one, Lindsay. Can't remember what it was. Was it a church? Yeah, I think I know Allan. I know when we went with Allan, we've got one. We ordered it just after we worked with Allan, but it's not a parabolic, that one. You had to just like put it on a bench. Evening, Lorna.
Picks up vibration.
But yeah, it picks up. Lorna, I've sent you a message, my lovely. I need you to click on a link that I've sent you to get you into members group. Because when you signed up, it automatically takes you into a group, but that's just the pay group. There's a link in there that takes you through to live group. So if you can, I've sent you a link, or you can check back on it on other group, Lorna, my lovely. But I just need you to check that link for me, and then I can. Then you'll be able to see us live when we're on members. Hi, Mod. Hello, well, Rachel. Rachel, I think Nanny Lynn's in as well tonight. I made mine from a glass lid of one of my biggest pans, but it works good if the microphone is set upright. I don't know how they made theirs. Didn't they put it on a wooden bench to hear the knocking? That's right, Craig. They did. We've got it somewhere. Do you know where it is? No. I think it's in one of drawers. But we've never actually took it out because I don't know why we've never took it out. Because
it doesn't sit right. It's running cheap.
I think we need to have a look for a more expensive one because the one we bought were quite cheap. But yeah, I know. I thought we're in that other top drawer or there because you had it out of the day. I wonder if mice turn around when they fart like dogs and cats do when they hear themselves too. God, if they did smell a cat, that'd be amazing. I like the mirror experiments. I don't do much of the mirror experiments, obviously, because it's just not my cup of tea. John doesn't mind. He don't mind staring into the mirror with lights on just to see whether his face changes. Transfiguration. I know different people say different things about transfiguration, and I have seen quite a few people doing it. For me personally, it's not my cup of tea. I've only ever done it once, and that was when I went to St. Breryl's Castle. They got it all set up in front of a mirror there, and I did it once, and I don't know what to see again. It's your eyes, and obviously I was staring at myself, and I could see my face changing, and I just thought it didn't look right, so I've not done it. But John does it. My turn. Hey y'all, hope you're well, my lovely. I bought the plastic going up microphone ages ago, but it's crap. Hey Sarah, my lovely. Not reading right now.
We're good, thank you, Sarah.
I hope you're well, my lovely. Yes, Chelsea, I missed that one that we put scared of. Everyone knows that Lindsay has a humongous whop. Really, crink crink? Oh dear, have you only got the little one? Oh, I'm sorry, crink crink. Evening, Gemma, Janice, mirror scrying. Yeah, Craig, mirror scrying. Excuse this, but that's okay, Craig. But yeah, I don't think I'd personally like to do it, but yeah, I think John don't mind doing that at all. I'm on my tablet now, so Facebook lets me on. Past life regression with evening, Paul. Hope you're well, my lovely. Glad you got on Facebook, Gillian. At least you can see everybody. I don't know what's up with our comment section tonight. We push his sweats. Don't know what you're on about. Janice, Paul, yes. So any other pieces of equipment that you want to discuss? I know it will do in a minute. It'll come off. We'll come off paranormal altogether. I mean, we've caught some good things on not on SLS, on that thingy one with little camera thermal imager. Evening, piss take. Hope you're well, my lovely. Yeah, I mean, even on thermal imager, I'll get your teeth in right. Thermal imager. We've caught some really good stuff on that. Thermal imager, I'll get your teeth in. Oh dear. Evening, Scots, you're back with us. Evening, Nanny Ling. Yeah, so I forgot what I was saying now. Forgot my teeth. But do you know what else I do like? I like the laser grid, because we've caught some really good things in that laser grid. Still can't get over the one John caught the other day. No, I caught the one that hit the camera, and it's like, that is just no. I mean, I've watched it back and back and back, and I still can't make head nor tail or what that was. Yeah. Not for it to fly. And it actually moved. You heard it hit the camera. You heard the camera like hit. But it's funny because it knocked everything off, but the camera actually never moved, if you know what I mean. But the actual noise it made was. You want to have a look at that one, Sam?
One piece of equipment, then. Beyond the same, what would it be?
For me, one piece of a torch. No, if I'd already got a torch. I think one piece of equipment I would take, to be honest. I could be anal and said take a phone. But I don't. Do you know? I don't think I could. I think for me, I'd take my REM bear. I think for me, it would have to be a REM bear. You guys fancy me? Oh, definitely. Piss taker, my lovely. We'll meet up. Big Red, yeah, Chelsea, I need Big Red. I remember when I got in the laser grid. Yes, Rachel, the laser. Yep, it's a bigger screen on my tab. You should stream it to your telly. Thermal is great for ghost hunting. I would recommend the monocular scope, like the Fleur Scout, but it's a that. I know. See, Sam, it's ridiculous amount of money that they want. The green fog one too. Vortex mandate, Vortex. I got with the little boy. It wasn't fuzzy. It was a face and a full size boy. Yes, mandate. That's the one. Evening, Dawn. Hope you're well, my beauts. But yeah.
Nice you to join us. You're only half an hour late, Dawn.
I hope you were baking as a cake, Dawn, for being this late. There's been a few unexplained things happen recently on your lives, Lindsay. There has, Nanny Lynn. There has. The problem we have is, I think, because we're actually in it in that moment, my mind just it like focus on certain things on night, and then I miss so much. And then when I'm watching back, I'm like, oh my God, I missed that, and I missed that, and I missed that. That church we went to, we were taking photos as we got there, and Chelsea took a right photo, and we tried as hardest to debunk it. We were shining torches where it was took. We were shining We got Stuart to stand back in the same place. John were where he were, and we still can't explain what this like ball of light is outside. It weren't raining or anything.
Watching footy.
Just put us on big screen, and then he might go to bed, Gillian. Meant to upload that. Yes, Chelsea should. Have you thought of taking a monitor to see how you react? You know, when you feel and know there's a present. Yeah. Do you know that might be another interesting one to do? I know that we're going to take pendulum board out and or pendulum anyway.
The monitor thing, Lindsay had a watch that does your heartbeat and everything.
Oh, I did.
But we had to take it off her because she got obsessed with your heartbeat.
I did. Have you ever been genuinely scared when ghost hunting? I don't know. I've never been scared to a point where I think I can't do it. But I have had feelings where I don't want to do. Like we've come onto it. We were on a path once going into leading down into a woodland, and I didn't want to go in it. I tried to make every excuse, and John never picked up on my excuses. The other person we were with never picked up on excuses. And I'm like, I don't think Big Red would get down. Oh, he'll get down there. Come on. And then we got down. And I felt something touch my leg. But I had a gut feeling telling me that I shouldn't be there. And people in chat, I never said anything about being touched. Evening, Stuart. You're well, my lovely. I never said anything in chat about feeling touched on my leg. But then John was saying, when he were reading chat, people were saying there's something round Lindsay. And I know it weren't nice because I got that gut feeling telling me that I needed to get out of the area. But then it touched John on leg. I think it touched you on leg, as you said afterwards. And you went, that's something that's just touched my leg. And I said something did mine about a couple of minutes ago. And then I went out. The only other time I think where I have been on edge were when we went in that wood and they were just me and you. Where Amy caught the Emma. But John went back in on his own. I didn't like it. So I said to John, I'm going to go back to, to be honest, I couldn't get Big Red in there anyway. So I had walked and I was in a bit of pain. It wasn't far from where we parked to the car where he was. But in that wooded area, that did, because in daytime, I'm fine. And in a cemetery, I'm fine. Put me in a wood at night. And because I can't see behind trees or I can't see things, that's when I get a little bit more unnerved. But I handle it quite well. But if I don't like it, then I will say I need to go back to the car. And I will go back to the car because... and
for me,
no, you've never, have you? Even when that happened on camera the other day, I can't get comfy. Exactly. Is there some equipment that you could put on your body that would detect that? A certain little, it's decided to christen it. Christen what? Your cake? Your bed? Oh, dear. We could have a look for some stuff, Yolanda. We could have a look for some stuff that we could. For me, it'd be no point because, like John says, I get obsessed with things. And when I had the thing, I put it on for when I were having panic attacks. And for, I don't know what other reason I put it on for, but I've got it on. And every 2 minutes, I'm sat doing that. And I'm saying my heartbeat's dropped to 56. What's that mean? And then it'll say heartbeat or pulse rate 72. And I'll be like, yeah, but I'm at a 72. Is that low or high? And I would it just made me panic worse. So. And
then she panicked, it went up, and she said, look, my heart's racing, look, my pulse is right quick, and then it get quicker because she's panicking.
And then when it slowed, I didn't like it. It's strange that sometimes people's emotions are taken over temporarily. It is, Sam. I mean, you had that other day, didn't you? And I know you've had that on some of yours, though, haven't you, Sam? You've been in places where the energies around it have caused your emotions to be felt. I know other night you found it actually because John's picking more up now. But he is doing a lot of practice and a lot of learning, and he's learning more how to be more in tune with yourself, aren't you? which is opening him up that little bit more. And trust me, this isn't something that you can do overnight. This is something that you do have to be working on if you do want to do it. You do have to start looking into all different things to help you. Evening, Shirley, my lovely. We have got motion sensors.
We've got a motion sensor light.
Ooh, Gillian. Thank you, my lovely.
We have a motion sensor light.
I will do.
We don't use it very often. Not outside as much anyway.
No.
Because of bugs and things.
See, thing is, especially if you're in a wood,
grass is blowing near.
Grass is blowing. It just sets it off too easy. Could put an EMF reader in your top pocket.
Only problem with that is we're stood near phones.
EMF, yes, that's what another thing that we've found. If you're using an EMF meter in your live streaming, there's no point, because it doesn't matter how far away.
We've got K2 meters, but we can't
use them.
Not with live streaming.
And if we put them too far away, it's no point, because you can't see lights flashing on them. But yeah, every time we did it, when we were working with EMF, we just couldn't trust what results were, because we were there, but everybody else had got mobile phones on them as well. I mean, at some point there were 5 mobile phones in everybody's pocket, and you've got 2, 3. Everybody. Well, yeah, because you've got people streaming.
Yeah, but not everybody got 5 mobile phones.
No, I mean, 5 of us with a mobile phone each. Yeah. So yeah, it can be a bit different, but no, we'll try and look for something though.
Is there anything you would never
Samuel
do
by the tree, and I started to cry. Yeah.
Yes, we would never shout out, basically dark.
To be honest, I don't think I'd ever call an energy out. I don't think, no. We see, I'm using a pendulum board, Paul, but I'm not using it as, to me, people are saying it's no different from a Ouija board, but in my eyes, it is different from a Ouija board, because I'm using my pendulum and I'm not using, but then it don't matter. I think they're all saying the spirit boards. And I've just started working with the pendulum board.
Yeah, we probably will end up getting some motion sensors like that, the ones that you put opposite each other.
But I think for us, as long as we're working with light, Paul, I don't think there's anything that we wouldn't do. But if it meant going over to darker side, then it's not our cup of tea.
We won't start disrespecting.
Evening, Irene. Hope you're well, my beautiful lady. Yeah, your intentions are different. Yeah, I think that's the thing. We've always, from beginning, we've always stuck. We've never changed on how we investigate. We've never changed on energies that we work with and that we surround ourselves with. So I think on that level, we just continue doing what we feel we want to do, because obviously every team's different, everybody works differently.
There's a place for everything, and some people want to watch darker stuff, so yeah. If that's what they want to, but that's not what we do.
Yeah. Hey sweetie, thank you for sharing, Irene, my lovely. The school one, John's, where you used to opposite each other and alarm goes off. Which one was that one?
No, it's what Natalie's saying.
Yeah.
Motion detector. So yeah, it's the ones we're looking at.
Yeah. No, provoking. No, we don't. Hey, David, hope you're well, my lovely. What you do is what you know the best. Exactly, Irene. I think it's what you know best, and I think it's also what you feel comfortable with. And again, I think it's down to religion. It's not religion.
It's down to respect.
Respect and belief.
Because it's just like I wouldn't treat a spirit or start gobbing and shouting at a spirit. Because if somebody walked into a room or a place where I was, started shouting and screaming at me and obscenities and whatever,
I'd want to punch him in the face.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to talk to him, would you? You'd be like, really?
Stab him. Like watching both. Exactly, Cara. It's nice to have a balance, isn't there? So so whatever mood you're in or whatever, it can balance out what you watch. Evening, Rach, hope you're well.
Hey,
but yeah, watching Dark and Light, I think, like you said, it's finding that balance. It's finding on, hey, Carpy Chris, hope you're well. I think, yeah, it's just finding that balance on what you personally like. Like for us, we personally just like doing what we do. And because our belief system is more on the pagany one.
Oh, mine is.
John's is more, yes. But hello, don't do the dark guy side. They aren't nice. Again, Matt, I think for me and John, we don't look at demons as what other people look at demons as. We don't look at negative energy as what other people look at it, because we have our own views, evening names. We respect everybody else's, and when people start putting in and they can pick up negative energies and to them it's a demon, we'll respect that. We respect that, and we never say anything to anybody, do we? But for us, our personal belief is,
unless somebody comes on and says Zozo's there.
And then I'd just piss myself laughing, because I'm sorry, I don't believe in Zozo. But for me, for my personal thought on it is,
so if you write 2020, it looks like Zozo.
Yeah, I've seen that one. But I think for me, yeah, Julie, don't respect spirits. Yeah, you won't disrespect somebody alive, so we won't respect somebody that had crossed over. But for me, my belief is that human beings have been around for such a long time. And if there ever was a first man or first tribe on this earth, for me, it's like a Mardy energy, somebody that's grumpy, that's passed over, or somebody that's negative, and they've done bad things in life, and it's their energies.
When Lindsay crosses over, she'll be classed as a demon.
Yeah.
She's a grumpy energy.
But it's like their energies that over time have like gained more negative energy and more negative. And to me, that's what a demon's. To me, a demon's a living person.
Right now, you said you had
or would have been living.
You had an emergency, didn't you? I hope everything's sorted now.
But yeah, so that's. I mean, what's everybody else's beliefs? What do you believe demons are? What do you believe gods are? What do you? And I don't want to get into the deep thing on religion, because that's not a path I want to go down. Because religion is it's each to your own on religion, as long as everybody respects what other people are putting in chat. I've heard spirits speak obscene words to investigators. Again, yeah, but again, with the energies coming out with bad language and that, Irene, if they were a negative person anyway, they'd have swore at people, they'd have been disrespectful to people. So having energies coming out and swearing to me, could it be in one religion, it could be a demon, in another religion it could be
no, but think about it, right? If we go to a place and it's been, I'll use this as an example, we haven't actually been there, East Drive, right?
Yeah, East Drive.
We go to East Drive. That place has been done to death, right? No pun intended by that, by the way. It's been investigated over, right? A lot of them that are going are not going to, and I'm not mentioning any names, are not going to be respectful, right?
Yeah.
So don't you think they're going to get annoyed, spirit? So like when another team comes in, before you start, you'll be like, oh, look, that is here again.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So it's the same as anybody.
For East Drive one, the team that's worked, I think, the most and the longest with East Drive has got to be Ouija Brothers.
To our knowledge.
To our knowledge, and I'm sorry if there is another team out there, but to our knowledge, Ouija Brothers have done an intense. They've been in and out so many times
for a week at a time.
They have. Exactly, Chris. It's all about your own, isn't it? But yeah, but Ouija Brothers, really, if anybody wants to know about East Drive, they've actually done it where they have investigated properly, not ghost hunters, investigators, because they've gone and they've spent weeks, they've spent months, they've spent so much time in that respect. I would treat spirit The
same as if it would
real world. Can meet the real world. Exactly, because people often disrespect what they can't virtually see. Exactly. My belief is reincarnation. I can't believe that once we die, that's it. Julian, 100%. Evening, John. 100% agree with that. I believe in reincarnation. I don't believe that when our bodies die, I do believe that our energy will go on onto whatever's next for us. I do think that we can keep connections with those who like being in his past before.
Well, that's it. Cheer me up.
But again,
I must up here next
but
life.
again, you might not meet these people till different times in your life, in next life. Demons are better classed as inhuman entities. It's all purpose to feed off negative energies. As for spirit, they are not inherently evil. Experience emotion just like us. If no one can see or hear you, you get angry, frustrated. But again, like Amy's just said though, for spirits, if no one can see or hear you,
I get frustrated.
But we can't see and hear them. But what about, can they see and hear each other and interact with each other?
I mean, I get frustrated because nobody hears me in this house.
How do they shut up? How do they look at us? Do they look at us? I mean, there's a film out, and I forgot what film it is now, but it's about a woman living in a house with a family, and she thinks that there's ghosts in house, and it turns out they're the ghosts. And I can't remember what that film's called, if anybody knows. And that were really interesting to watch.
Bruce Willis did one similar, didn't
it? No, it weren't. But yeah, that was that little boy, weren't it?
Yeah, and he thought little boy was ghost. It turned out he was ghost.
No, he didn't realise he was dead on that one. He thought he was still living. He didn't realise because that little boy could see ghosts.
Yeah. So Bruce Willis thought
he didn't realise he'd crossed over that. Yeah. But no, that the house. I think it's something like The House on the Hill or something like that. I can't remember where it is. I can't remember if it was Sigourney Weaver that played it as mother. Like in that film, the others. That's it, Nanny Lynn. The others. But that were brilliant, you know, because all the way through. It is Lorna. Evening, Lorna, my lovely lady. Lorna, you're another one. I need you to
check your messages.
Check your messages. Or when you go into, you know, when you signed up to members area, it takes you to a group. In that group, there's a link that you have to click, and it takes you to another group. You need to click that link so we can add you into live group, my lovely, so you get to see us live. Sixth Sense, that would name that film you're on about. John, you make a laugh. Would you make Gillian laugh? Evening, Elizabeth. Hope you're well, my lovely. Thank you, Lorna. And to Lorna Nicol as well. You need to do exactly the same. The others, yeah. But I mean, that film was so weird because you didn't know, unless somebody had spoilt it for you. You didn't know.
Yeah, somebody spoilt it for them now, haven't they?
Yeah, but that film's been out ages.
Yeah, but they haven't watched it. You just spoiled it.
Nicole Kidman, that's it. I was trying to think of it, Rachel. Nicole Kidman film. But yeah, I mean, so
never
to
watch
me,
a film with Lindsay if she's seen it.
Just tell you. But yeah,
watch this bit.
I would
watch this bit. It's going to be good.
Have you seen it, Amy? Amy, have you ever seen the others? If you haven't, just try and get it and try and have a watch of it, because to me, it's deja vu. Lorna, I repeat myself constantly. I think I'm getting like my Nanan. My Nanan keeps repeating herself now, doesn't she? A little bit, bless her. It's good job it's good job she ain't got Facebook. She'd be telling me off now.
What a nightmare, Lindsay.
Do you know, I'm shocking. I can't help myself. It just like repeats out of my mouth. Evening, Sissy, my lovely lady. It's a beautiful movie. It is. It really is. It's amazing. Has anyone watched the film called A Quiet Place? Didn't we watch A Quiet Place the other day?
I don't know. I've never been in A Quiet Place.
No, but I'm sure. Isn't there only something like about 3 characters in this? Isn't it to do with that little girl when she goes into woods?
Also, if anybody ever
I think
has a night where they're watching a film with Lindsay, don't let Lindsay pick film.
Says you.
Don't.
Says you.
She once picked this film right? It's very good. It looked very good, this film. So we sat there. She went to sleep, by the way, so I'm sat watching it. I had to watch it till end just because I thought,
and then I woke up and I went, "Did you watch that?" No worries, Paul, my lovely. We'll catch you in a bit.
There were one actor in it, I think. There was just one actor and a couple of extras that were on.
Oh, it was so funny.
An hour and a half of life will never get back.
No, and I fell asleep, and when I woke up, I went, "Did you watch that film?" He went, "Yeah." I says, "Well, I didn't." I says, "It were crap." I went to sleep after the first minute. Can't watch films like that. Tracy has nightmares. Oh, bless. Nothing worse than when people have nightmares, though, over films and things. Rob does that. Oh, dear. But yeah, I mean, A Quiet Place is a really good film. I don't know whether we've seen A Quiet Place.
I don't know.
Or not. I might have to have a look, see if I've seen it. I think we have. I thought A Quiet Place was to do with that cottage where family lived, and they thought little girl were a witch. Came on, I think. YouTube. But yeah, I mean, to be honest, horror films these days. I mean, when you and it's awful because when you watch the horror films, like I've been watching a bit on about Exorcist. Oh, no, I don't think we've seen. Oh, we have seen Quiet Place. We have. It's where they can't speak. Little boy gets killed there, look, because it takes him off bridge because he makes a noise. We have seen it. They have to keep quiet. God, can you imagine me? I'd be eating after the first 5 minutes.
I think that's what we said.
But I forgot what we were saying then. You put me off. But yeah, it's like when you're watching Coming to a Cinema Near You this October, Lindsay killed Johnny, TA gone wrong, rated 4-star. Could be, Jamie, could be. No, it's not about. It's all right. I was getting myself muggled up with this other film I've seen that were similar-ish to that. Not like it, but yeah.
She makes her own films up.
Oh dear, don't make me. I've seen them. I just can't remember the names. But yeah, I think a lot of things is we like Hollywood and stuff like that and films. I wouldn't have lasted long now, David. I think that's where I think it puts doubt on the paranormal side of things, because obviously when they were making Exorcist, they got to make it look as real as possible. Exorcist on its time, making an Exorcist was absolutely horrendous. What they actually did to some characters, and actually some cast. I mean, it were really bad. I like Carrie, telekinesis. You think a thought and it happens. She was abused and her emotions exploded. Oh, that's in Carrie, the film. Yeah, I enjoyed watching Carrie. The closest thing I've seen to horror movie was Scary Movie, and it was crap. The paranormal documentary with reconstructions can be scary, especially when people look in the mirror and a ghost is behind. Yeah, exactly. But again, we're going back to old movies. They look like Carrie and some other old horror films. Watership Down wasn't a horror film.
It was traumatic.
I think if you've got a choice now to watch horror films of now or horror films, say, of the 70s, 80s, which are, me personally, I would go back and watch the old stuff, because I think that's when it was more. I don't know whether it were not. Some of it would have been more realistic. Originally, I shit myself in the credit when Hand came out of the grave. It was for the rabbits. Oh dear, them poor rabbits. I've only seen. Oh yeah, it scared me to death as a kid. Yep. Evening, Joanne.
There's two of them in there, and I can't remember which one's
Gogglebox.
First one.
You want to watch it?
Haunting of Hill House was the first one. That were a lot better, I thought, than Haunting of.
I don't know.
Manor.
I don't know. That Manor one I didn't enjoy that one. Cannot watch horror films, says Julie. Lindsay, I came online and you were laughing. You just made my night. Hi to you two big hugs. Good evening, Sheila, my lovely. Sending loads of love and healing to your other half, my beauties.
old horror films, especially. I know but have you tried watching Hammer Horrors now? We're at Hammer House of Horrors.
I'll tell you what, were quite not scary, but they were a bit, I suppose, suspense when I was younger. With that Tales of the Unexpected, they were quite creepy. Some of them.
They were creepy. I mean, Hammer House of Horrors, they used to be on Saturday night, 12 o'clock. Mum and Dad used to go out, and my dad used to sneak me back downstairs to watch all Hammer House of Horrors. And I think they've got quite a creepy thing to them. But yeah, Hills Have Eyes. See, I don't mind that one, Hills Have Eyes. I think the only thing that put me off with Hills Have Eyes was that were based in Australia, I think it was. And at that time, my mum and her other half were going to Australia, and they were going round thing. And the only thing I could imagine was what happens if they went through one of these like strange out miles out of nowhere, and something happened to them. Because obviously, I mean, I know Sheila's Australian, and I know that the countryside in Australia and New Zealand, it's just vast. It's just like dirt. I don't know. It's just like dirt tracks going on for miles and miles and miles. I mean, America is though, isn't they? In America, you've got all that desert.
Yeah, well, first one were a lot better.
But yeah,
second one's good. It's just quite slow, and then it goes really weird. I
haven't watched the second one yet. Yep, Silent Hill made me not sleep for 2 days. Really? See, I think it just must be my brain, because I see the funny side in them. It's more.
Who won't sleep with lights off when we've watched one?
No, if I watch anything with like witchcraft in, that's when I don't have bathroom. That's when but bathroom lights been on way before horror films anyway. But yeah, no, I won't go to sleep without a light on. I've got to have a light on to go to sleep. But I've done that from being young. South Africa. Sorry, Sheila, my lovely. South Africa. But South Africa again, Sheila, you've still got like the outbacks, haven't you? And you've got they're all beautiful areas, but it's like not like going to our countryside, if you know what I mean, because it's really desolate. And when that Hills Have Eyes come on, that proper, I was more worried for the safety of my mum. And I don't know why, but it was probably because I just watched it at that time. I've never told anyone this, but I had a musical China Beatrix Potter ornament. It was very heavy, 8 inches tall. I woke up and it flew off the windowsill, and window wasn't even open. Wow, Yolanda, how old were you when that happened? Wolf's Creek, that film, Hills Have Eyes, is in America. Oh, it might be Wolf's Creek then. I don't know. Yeah, I tell you, I get my places mixed up. The Brood, I thought that were more fun. That were comical. Willy Wonka scared me. Give over, Michael. Just done Out of Hours prescription run. Where's Joanne's gone? Chloe got nasty. Oh, is Chloe home now then, Joanne? It's just that part where the top of the roof and it's looking down at the person just freaks me out. Love The Conjuring, Universal, but only because love Ed and Lorraine. But then there's a big stigma around Ed and Lorraine though, Rachel, isn't they? With Ed and Lorraine, a lot of them, it's coming, obviously now, obviously there's nobody here now to say. But you've got like people coming out and turning on Ed and Lorraine now and saying that everything was they made up. They made up on The Conjuring. They made up on what other one that they did? But they were saying that every house they went to, that there's like people coming out of woodworks to try and shut them down now. Morning, Steve. House of Wax. So I don't think I've seen House of Wax. The Eye Japanese originally, that's freaky. I don't think I've seen that one either. Don't do horror movies, love ghosties though. Is there a difference though, Sheila?
I mean, there were one film a film or a series. I think it was series, weren't it?
On what?
It's not a horror. It were about ghosts. That Lock and Key. That was good.
I enjoyed that Lock and Key. That was quite mysterious. That was quite a mysterious one, though, weren't it?
All right.
But right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put an invite on the screen. If anybody wants to come on,
copy to clip. clipboard.
If anybody wants to come on and join us and either ask a question, has it copied to clipboard?
Yeah. Now close it down.
House of Wax is awesome. If anybody wants to come on and either ask a question or come on and tell us an experience, or even your favourite horror, film. I might have to have a look at that House of Wax. I'd love how you can be so honest here, yo. I've seen a full-grown man in daylight who had been dead for over 30 years. Wow, Mandy. Wow.
Comments.
You should be clicking on comments. Hated rabbits ever since seeing that stupid film. I know I have. And there seems, don't you, that bright, stop it, get it off for me. I'm trying to read Craig's Hated Rabbits ever since that stupid film had their theme song on vinyl and never listened to it either. I sometimes sing it to John. Bright eyes. Do you know Wicked Witch of the West? Wicked Witch of the West, weren't that
Yellow Brick Road, isn't it?
Yeah. Weren't that Dorothy? I'm in my 90s. So, listen, I'm in a t-shirt, Sheila, but I'm still on. I've got no trousers on.
Lucky I'm not in my 90.
I enjoyed Postill. I think ending were a bit shite though on Postill. Oh wow, Mandy, what a shock. Can you join ETA and tell us more? Exactly, Mandy. Come on and talk to us. I don't think you have to come on picture. I think you can do your voice only if you want to. You don't have to come on screen. Now that scared me getting into their dreams.
That's that link ages, Chels.
I've messaged you, Link. The new one is best when the Hilton gets it. I don't think I've seen that one, Nanny Lane. I got dressed just for this. You haven't really. You've only got a top on. Freddy vs. Jason. Don't you think though the Freddy films, when Freddy first come out and it were like coming into your dreams?
See, I don't rate any of them versus like Freddy versus Jason, Alien versus
Godzilla
Predator,
versus
Superman versus Spider-Man or something like that. And I think it's just stupid.
They're running out of things to do. I thought I'd sent them to your inboxes. I might not have done it right then. Well, you'll have to click on link.
Paste.
Post.
Chat.
Now get me away. You do it because I keep clicking on screen. Postill is a bit scary. I think Postill's more scary though, Gemma, because it could happen in real life. We need headphones. Mine are on there.
Hello.
Evening, Bets.
Hello.
How are you?
We've got an echo.
The link coming out, Gillian, I'm posting. There's a link coming out in StreamYard. You need to get yours, and then we can link together. Go on then, Chels. What got you into ghost hunting anyway? Never asked you that.
Probably from a few experiences when I was younger. I think I've always had an interest in it anyway, but never really explored it because, like, I don't watch scary films or out like that. Me, I'm a right chicken. I can't watch scary films. And I was always scared of like delving into paranormal, you know, because you don't know what to expect. And I think there's a certain expectation when you don't know that everything's going to be scary and everything's going to be demonic and everything's going to be chasing after you and stuff. So
do you think though, Tally, do you think because of what is seen on telly in horror films, in entertainment industry, do you think that's what makes people think, oh my God, we're going to be middle and something's going to come out and chase us?
Yeah, I think that's what influences us into it, because it's not all the time that we see paranormal teams going out there and doing proper paranormal investigations, you see things on telly and you think, oh my God, like, is that really what happens?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's that influence that we get from media sometimes. It's obviously it's all dramatized and everything. It's got to be, because it's a film, it's a movie. But yeah, I think it gives you a false view really on things sometimes. I suppose you could apply that to a lot of things, couldn't you?
You could. Hello, Sam.
Hi, Sam.
Hello.
Good evening.
How are you?
Long time no see.
It is. Good evening, Dr. Villain.
Hello, guys. Hello,
evening.
guys. How are you? Hey,
So,
we're well, thank you.
good evening. I've just got a question for you. What do you think about... Oh, sorry.
what?
I was going to ask you a question. What do you think of that new film, that new zombie kind of on a warship? It's about German soldiers being killed and something. Have you seen it advertised?
No, not seen that one, Sam. But to be honest, I don't think this year I've watched much at telly or anything anyway, because it's just rubbish on telly. So I've not seen much on telly anyway. So yeah, where's Sam gone?
I've seen it.
But yeah, no, I've not seen that one, Jamie, at all. Have you, Sam?
No, I have not seen anything fiction in about 2 years, I think.
Wow.
Everything has been YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for up until a couple of months ago, everything was paranormal, but now it's turned that everything I watch now is not paranormal. I watch very
you like? Yeah.
I'm sort of disheartened of what I've been watching. A lot of the things that I've been watching, so I've compressed that down to the odd few that I watch. You know.
Yeah. Do you think sometimes though, Sam, you need to have a break? Not for obviously, because I know you investigate yourself and you go out and investigate and do your own thing anyway, Sam. But do you think sometimes you have to take that break from constantly watching anything to do with paranormal, so your brain gets like?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, like I've had paranormal on the brain for a long, long time, and this is my first time that I've actually sort of taken a break from it, you know. You know, so I started looking at other things and that. So it's sort of.
Sometimes I think it's good for you to take a break, because you start looking at the bigger picture, don't you? I think sometimes we can go around with blinkers on a little bit when you're watching the same thing all the time. And opening your vision to other things, I think sometimes can help to see bigger picture.
Yeah, it's finding that balance, you know.
Yeah.
You know, it's no good sort of. You know, if you have a hobby and you're at it all the time and you don't look after the other things that are essential for you to look after, then you start having a problem, you know. But I've taken this time to chill out, because I can't really go out anyway, so, you know, because I'm having very bad problems with my knees and stuff like that.
No.
You know, so you know, yeah, I have my.
Are they going to look at getting you? Are they going to look at moving you, Sam? Are you going to look at moving, so you're getting somewhere where you can get more accessible outside?
I'm going to look into it in the new year. You know, because I'm in the same sort of a situation as Simon is in, which is 2 flights of stairs. So when you go to a shop and you get your shopping, do you get 2 liters of milk or do you get 4 liters of milk? And then you're thinking, I better just get 2, because I won't be able to carry them up the stairs. Simple things like that. And as well as that, we go to places like Cumber House to investigate in that, and it's lugging cases and cases of a lot of equipment. And then after the investigation, what's going through your head? I have to lug all that up the stairs again. When you're
couldn't you look at doing less though, Sam? When you're going out on invests, I know you do when you do an investigation in some places you go. I know you do go back and go back and go back, and it's overnights, and it can be a week. Do you know you're like go like, but then you're overlooking your footage, and
you might have 30-40 hours of
viewing
or listening.
That's what I'm saying.
From
most of the investigation happens here at home. It's what it is information gathering, really, that we're doing. Because a lot of the time we miss stuff on the night. Them simple, those tiny little EVPs that you cannot hear. You'll pick them up at home, going through them all. Sometimes it's minute information. But the problem is with YouTube, those tiny, small pieces of information, they used to be gold. And even with a couple of words, even a low tone, it doesn't excite people on YouTube anymore. People are looking for the scares. They're looking for, they're looking for the action, as it were, and the small pieces of evidence is being degraded now, as nothing, when in fact anything to do with the paranormal, anything to do with paranormal evidence is gold, because it's paranormal. It's not normal,
Chelsea, your mum's think Chelsea started to be aware of spirits when she was around 2 or 3 years old. She saw my mum in her bedroom, and she had never seen her nan, as my mum had died around 14 years before Chelsea were born. So again, Chelsea, you've got links to it then. It's been there since you were younger. Has that interest been there for you, Sam, since you were younger? Like it has for me, like it has for Chelsea, like it has for John? Or is this something that over time you've been more intrigued by?
No, I did when I was younger, and it wasn't to do with paranormal investigating or something. It was to do with Marcello Bacci's work. I was told about Marcello Bacci in a science class, and my science teacher was a big paranormal guy. And I got to see some of the VHF tapes that he had of Marcello Bacci. He was in Italian, but we were intrigued. So we started messing around with radios and recordings and EVPs and stuff like that. And, I was doing it in school after class, but, I was so intrigued that I made a radio myself, and I was, in my room, listen to all this static, and it wasn't like the scan frequencies we have now. It was putting it on putting a radio with no stations in it. It was just static, and you had to listen through that. My mother thought it was complete and utter bonkers, like listening to a radio static. She says, "What are you doing?" I says, "I'm listening for ghosts." She says, "Your man."
My mother still thinks I'm. My mum thinks I'm crackers now.
Every time I talk to her on the phone now, did you get any ghosts lately? I says, it doesn't work like that.
Well, I don't know whether you've seen what Chelsea were on about earlier. John were out on his own other night in Woods, and this is a place, like Mandy says, she likes that we go back and revisit places and revisit them, because the more you go, I think the more chances energies there get used to your energies and things like that. and John went back to a woodland near us, and he caught Sam. You've got to watch it because we can't. It's just so hard, isn't it? This light just comes from nowhere and it hits the camera.
The camera's on a gimbal, but then it's also on a tripod, and I'm stood about 6 foot away from it behind it, and you can hear this rustling. I'm getting some tablets out because I forgot to set my tablets, so I'm just about to set my tablets. And next thing, I see camera go back, like the tripod go back, and stuff that
you hear
tripod
something hit it.
falls off off it. But there were only me there. There were nothing else there.
But you watch video clip. We've clipped it down, and
it's amazing.
The first clip we've done is normal speed. The second clip Chelsea did, she'd slowed it down a little bit, and the third clip is slowed down even more. And you actually see this light come. It past the. Actually, I think you see it first on right hand side, and then you see it come. It comes straight in between the teddy. Unfortunately, Rembear don't go off, which is a shame. But it comes forward, but then you actually see it moving back. You see this, but it's not a bug. We were in green light mode.
It's definitely
so
not
the
a
only
bug.
light that was on. The only light that was on was the green light, weren't it, on camera? Scotty, he tried to slow. He did a pic, something to do with a photo, and he did it. Don't ask me what it meant, but at -46, and it was still self-illumining this light. I don't know whether John can find pictures. I'll send them you, Sam, and let you have a look.
And Scotty tried to decrease the light on the photo, you know, so to like take away the light, basically. But even after doing that, it still shows this illumination from somewhere, and it's quite fascinating because you can't explain it.
Yeah, I mean, like, one of the fascinating things I have found is the fact that something that we cannot see can move objects. I've had stones thrown at me. I had a doll thrown at me here. I've had a loaf of bread thrown.
You have.
You know, and, you know, it's some force that we cannot see. And it's, you know, we may never find the answer to that. I just find it. Find it.
You know, time I never saw the light. I never saw anything. I just saw the camera move.
I've just sent him you, Sam.
All right.
So you have to have a look. Oh my God, Amy, you should watch it. I'm surprised. I thought a lot watched it. I don't know whether I can put it up on my phone.
Turn it front of the way. Go on, Spirit.
So this is in normal motion.
Okay, that's me rustling my tablets. Fuck me, what happened?
You actually hear it hit the camera on that one.
Oh.
Yeah.
The next one. Hold on. This is where we've slowed it down a little bit. And you'll see it, and it comes between Teddy, its camera, and then you see it go back off. And then we've slowed it down even more, and it does that. But the original one, this was the original one that we caught. And this normal speed. That slowed down one.
I think you played the original one first.
I have. But then it's finding it again.
That slowed one back. Yeah.
So that's original.
Go on, Spirit. Okay. Fuck me, what happened?
And that we can't explain. Can't explain that at all. We've tried and tried and tried to debunk. John went back to place next day. On the footage, there is a white light streak, and frame by frame, it appears to twist and hit the camera as it knocks. Evening, Nanny Lane.
Hello.
But yeah, but yeah, it was such a crazy thing. Brightness adjustment, Scott is put in. But yeah, just can't explain it, Sam. The next day, John went back and he actually took us in time, didn't you, to where it was, and it's on a flat area, so there's no hill. The camera was on a flat surface. You can see the bench where the teddy bear was in daytime light, so you can see everything. And there's no light form. There's no street lights or no lights coming in from outside. So it's definitely one that, yeah, have a look at video and see what you think, Sam, when you've had a proper.
Yeah, I mean,
You
know, we can throw a lot of theories at it, but you know, at the end of the day, none of us have much of a clue, especially when it comes to physical touching. I've had my arm touched, I've had my hair pulled, you know, and it's an unseen force, and we're only at the beginning of all this, you know.
We are exactly. I mean, we will be going back there. We've just got to wait for it just to get a bit drier, haven't we? Because I want to get up there with Big Red, but I can't get up there yet because it's just too muddy.
Do you think the second visit is better than the first in general?
I mean, how many times have we visited that place?
A lot of times. I love going back to places just because you get to know it. And you get to know.
I mean, that place, Sam, I bet we've been there about 20 times. At least 20 times.
It's a big area, so different places in the same.
It's the one where you've got the gravestone in the wood, you've got the Neolithical stone in the wood. There's just different things all over. So John and I spend a lot of time in there, and I think the more times that you back to a place, I do believe that you have connections.
Scotty found the history.
He did. Scotty found history for that paper, for that area, on what had happened, and I thought he meant that there were a gorilla type yeti in there, Sam. And it weren't a gorilla type yeti. It was about a man that was. I think he tried to rape women.
We are going to go back there as well, Amy. We're going to actually call it Emma's Wood when we go back there.
Tried to rape women, and one of the women that he tried, he actually got in the house and through the bedroom window, and he got disturbed, obviously, because she was other family members there. And he actually jumped out of the bedroom window. Now, they're saying for a man to jump that, he's got to have had unexpected strength. Night, Julie, my lovely. Unexpected strength or something like that. So it was really interesting for Scott to find that history and for that to happen straight after, because it just all like fell into place. Wrong here. But yeah, I do. Why? What's up, Nanny Lynn?
Oh, she's gone.
She just goes. She does it all the time. But yeah, I do believe that a lot of time when Paul and he hid in the area where the thing happened with the camera. He did. The gentleman used to hide in that area. So whether that were a female energy coming toward John, that there were a stronger energy in that presence, and she were like trying to warn him to get him away, or whether it were his energy that could come, just John had like were facing up to him sort of thing, even though we weren't calling out anything nasty.
I think that's one of the things, isn't it, about paranormal, that it's so unexplained and the science behind it is so little at the moment. There's so much for us still to explore, and I think that's probably why it's so intriguing to many people.
Yeah,
definitely. I mean, Sam is you like the science to it, don't you, Sam? To look at like the different parts of equipment and stuff like that. You look in depth at the equipment used. I think I'm saying right thing. I'm not sure, am I?
Yeah. In the beginning, I was into the REM pods and all that kind of bits and pieces, but I kind of moved forward a bit. I wanted to try and find other activities that would help the paranormal.
Yeah.
And when it comes to night vision and stuff like that, it was the US military. I've been looking up this kind of stuff lately, and it's the US military that, you know, it was their technology that went on to be used by the hunters, but not so much paranormal. So that's why I bought items like this ballistic helmet, which you can mount a camera or a monocular on the side here. So wherever you go, you are recording, and you can have one eye just looking normal, and you can have the monocular, which is this here, looking through and having a night vision view. And with these helmets, you can put lights and all sorts of stuff on them, you know. With night vision, actually, the US military still uses an image intensifier tube. That's what we used to use in our old cameras, and that's why they were so big. We went to digital, and the cameras are now small, but for some reason, digital technology hasn't cracked perfect night vision yet, and that's why the military still use intensifier tubes. You know.
Yeah, Nanny Lynn, you keep going off screen. It's because you're only echoing because you've still got your volume turned up on your computer, my lovely. You want to come back on, but just turn all your volumes down. Don't forget you can hear us through headphones. Bless her. 5th time looking, Annie Lynn.
No.
But yeah, I mean, it is interesting that with old lenses. But it's same as that, though. I think with old cameras are better to use if you can than new cameras, because old cameras, again, you've got you can't alter digitally. You can't digitally do anything with them, can you? But so don't you do REM bears at all or things like that now, Sam? Have you totally come away from that, or is it something that you would still use occasionally, or is it just something now that you've tried, and now you're moving on?
The reason why I don't is because of my health, basically. I can only, if I go out to an investigation, and I like doing the woods and stuff, I like to be lightweight, like as little as possible. If I go to an organized event, like, Peninsula invites me to Cumber House or something like that, I'll jam as much as I can into the car and get organized the day before. But when we're going out, with having so much equipment, it kind of clutters my mind, and I get a little bit cranky sometimes.
Yeah.
So the less thing I have to think about, the better. And we're sort of focusing more on visuals and audio, and we've recently got 4 Zoom recorders, and they're pretty good at doing their thing. And sometimes I might take an odd last minute decision to go out to the woods and that. Put a spirit box in my pocket, bring my camera, and that's it. And cover as much ground as I possibly can. You know, basically my head.
It's in weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know. Yeah, I totally get what you mean. I think sometimes, like you said, it's better to just take out a bit than a lot of equipment. Because I think we sometimes take a lot of equipment out, and half the time we don't even use half of it. And like you say, it's quite heavy to carry around.
Yeah.
When it's not being used. How are you, Nanny Lynn? Have you sorted it?
No. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, we can hear you.
Everybody's saying something twice. Shut up.
Have you any more pages open?
Everybody is saying the same thing twice.
Have you
And I've
YouTube?
got no volume
Have you
on.
got more windows open?
No. No.
Have you turned your
What about your
volume down?
YouTube window?
I've turned my volume off. I'm not. No. I'm gonna
Well, we
go
can't
in
hear
chat.
you guys.
I've had a shit day. Everything's off.
I don't know. It's got to be on your end, Nanny Lynn.
You sound fine
got
here.
nothing.
It's got to be something to do with... Yeah, but you sound okay.
Hang on.
It's lagging. She's opening her mouth, and then the voice comes out afterwards. It's lagging by about a
I
second.
can hear. No, it's not me. I can hear. I can hear Chelsea, John. I can't hear that other gentleman very well.
You can't hear Sam.
It's Sam.
Right.
It's you,
Yeah,
Sam.
but it's not. Sam's coming through okay.
Huh?
It's not Sam. It's not. He can't. It's not coming from Sam's end because Sam's been on. It's got to be something, Nanny Lynn, at your end. If it's coming, you're the only one that's hearing it coming through twice. Don't you start smashing your computer up. She's got... I'll phone her in a minute.
She's gone to
Do you know? We had this trouble last time, Sam. When Nanny Lynn were coming on, we'd got echo. They were like, like you were still running in background somewhere. We had all that, and then we sorted it out. So I don't know whether there's something else that's gone off at Nanny Lynn's end. I'm not sure, but we'll sort it. She'll sort it. Not tonight, for next time. So yeah, I mean, we've been talking, me and Charles and John, and we were on about, what else we can do to take out onto investigations to make it, to try and get that communication going a little bit more. So we were thinking about pendulum and pendulum board, working with pendulums more. What's your thought on pendulums, Sam?
Ooh, I have two pendulum thingamajigs, and I have them as decoration. I don't do Ouija boards or pendulum things. I was asked by Peninsula asked me, did I want to take part in the Ouija board session? I said the only reason I would take part in an Ouija board session if I was blindfolded and I used it on my own. I don't class, but the pendulum board, I don't class it as a Ouija board. I think it's in the intent behind them. For me, because I use pendulum, I know we were on about this earlier, weren't I? Even using a pendulum, obviously with Ouija boards, you've got your hand on it, or there's something else thingy in it. But with pendulum board, what we've done is John's blessed the board anyway, and
we've done like a sacred spell kind of thing, haven't we, to protect it and cleansing and everything. And we cleanse pendulum, and we've had some really interesting results come back from it. I mean, I've only just started working with it, and Chelsea's just started working with hers. But it's so interesting on just how it does. I mean, this is mine. I don't even think I can get it off my head now. I'll take me, hang on. Can you just help me pull that off back? I have that many necklaces on. Where's my earphones?
Oh my God.
I have tea. Chelsea keeps hers close to her bra. Where have I put it now? Where have you put it? Get off it.
I'll just get mine.
Yeah, get yours.
Well, off that, yeah.
Don't like Ouija boards, but like the pendulum board. Yeah, I think it's one of them, isn't it? I think it's how you work with them. I think with Ouija board and a pendulum board, I think it's like I say, it's the intent, it's how you work with them. I mean, you're supposed to put your elbow down. So I've got my elbow flat. Let me lift that up a little bit. Twist that up.
All these little bags.
But I do actually like.
It's the same with anything, isn't it? Though your intention often sort of not persuades, but sort of influences your outcome. So
yeah.
Even working with spirits, because we work with what we call, positive spirits. Yeah, okay, we do get the occasional grumpy spirit, but we don't class it as being demonic or a negative energy, because we don't work that way. But that's just us. That's our intent. So again,
not first time I've ever said this, but I've only got a little one.
Have you ever worked with yours then, Sam? Have you ever worked with your pendulum?
No, I just bought them because they look cool.
You should try it.
When I've been working with mine, I mean, my chain's a bit long and you've got to have chain long, but I need something to put my elbow on, so I'm going to have to try and keep my arms still, because I shake, so I do need to have my elbow on. But your chain, put your chain together, Sam. So your chain goes like that. Put it together.
It might, yeah, but if it's on a normal pendulum chain, you'll not need.
Oh, it might not. You might not need to if it's on a single chain.
It's on a single.
If it's on a double, is it on a single or a single? So then you just lean it over your fingers like that. And then if you just hold it up in front, and then you'll move in yours.
Look at that.
Shut up. So then I just said, show me my yes. And my yes is I mean, my arm's shaking at the minute. And my no would be side to side. My don't know is a circle. Can you do a circle? My arm's shaking. I'm still unsteady. It's going. And it starts going round and round. Now, I've watched hundreds of these people that work with pendulums, and some of them, you'll see them and they've got their arms up and they'll say, show me my yes. And they're going like that. Show me my no. And they go like that. Show me me don't know. And they'll just circle it like that, right? You've really got to watch the hand movements. You've got to trust in the person that's doing it, that they are... They are sold in America. They've started selling them in Poundland as well over here.
Poundland, didn't they?
But you've got to trust in person, and you've got to trust in that movement. Do you know? I mean, if I start swinging that forward, and if I then want it to go do,
Yolanda.
so I'm swinging it forward, and then say I want to turn it sideways, sideways, you've got to see my hand jolt to turn it sideways. Do you see what I mean? Do you see what I'm saying? So it's swinging forward. So if I ask a question and say, is my dog called Penny? And then I go, oh, it said no, because I know my dog's not called Penny. But if I try and hold the pendulum, I need something to put my elbow on. If I try and hold my pendulum still, and I say, show me my yes. Swing it a little bit more. Show me yes. Can you show me my no now, please? Show me no. That's don't know. Show me no. Side to side. Thank you. Can you show me don't know? And you can see again. Do you know what I mean? I'm not flicking me. I'm not moving. I think part of you moves it, but part of you doesn't move it because you're tuning into that higher self kind of thing with it.
Yeah, I'm partly convinced because I used to use rods and I stopped using them because I actually didn't like the feeling that I was getting from them. You get this staticky, numb feeling to your hands, sometimes like a kind of like an electric shock kind of thing. And sometimes it was just too much. And I don't know what it is. I just don't know what it is. But, you know, yes, you can manipulate rods, a certain bit. But I do know that there's something about them. They're possibly like an antenna, but it needs a human body as well or something like that. But there is some sort of energy coming out of the body or being manipulated to the rods, because sometimes you can feel this static or this kind of electric kind of a feel that you get. If you have sensitive hands, it's similar to some of the feelings you get from large crystals. Do you know when you get if you have sensitive hands, you will feel the energy of crystals and stuff like that. Yeah, it's similar to that, but with a bit more intense. So you know, I'm kind of convinced that way. You know?
I've got a crystal.
You do say though, it's not the size of the pendulum; it's what you do with it.
I mean, I've got Jojo give me a crystal for me back, a healing crystal, and I've got to admit that when I've had these healing crystals round me, but I believe in energies of crystals and everything, so I do believe that they have got a certain power, a healing to them. But I think what we're going to do, I think we're going to all try and work with pendulums a little bit more. And for those of you that have got who's got a pendulum in chat? How many people have got pendulums? Because what we might do is on members area, we might do some more work with pendulums on members area. The electric from your own body that you're feeling, hence the static feeling in the rods. That's what Sheila's said, Sam.
I just want to say, hi, just before you go on, if Nanny Lynn wants to come on, I just actually found out the problem, and I think it was me. I forgot to turn down. Sam? Yeah, I forgot to turn down my external speaker volume.
So Nanny Lynn were right in blaming you. Yeah, and I'm saying it's not Sammy, Nanny Lynn. Nanny Lynn, links key. Try again. Think it's your own energy that makes the pendulum move when you tune yourself into the spirit world. I think there's something. I mean, like I said, for some people you can see them. I've been watching loads of videos to do with pendulum on YouTube. I've been reading up quite a lot of stuff to do with pendulum as well, and how it works, what it won't do. And it's such an interesting thing, but some of the people that I have watched, I have unsubscribed from on YouTube, because, like I said, if I see him going like this, to me, that's not using a pendulum.
Yeah.
Yeah, to me, that's not being, That's just you swinging your pendulum to outcome that you want. Whereas,
I mean, we're on about Ouija boards and things like that. And I think I watched a bit of Simon's video the other night. And I think Simon had a really good idea. I mean, Sam's idea won at best.
Sam's idea won at best.
With water for a Ouija board and put some floating, so it's But Simon says, with Ouija board, if these spirits can move glasses or tables or whatever, then why do we have to touch that planchette? Why, if a spirit's going to move it and it can move other things, it should be able to move that planchette without us actually touching it.
Because again, I think it's same with anything. The energy's got to come from a person. Yeah. And I do think sometimes when people are doing Ouija boards, whether they're aware of it or not, but they are going to be pushing it. That's why when anybody does a Ouija board, for it to be a legit Ouija board, and Vonnie come out with best one. Vonnie says you put your fingers on it with your nail down, not with your fingers that way because you can push. But if you put your nail down on it that way, you can't put your nail down to push something. That nail, or you can, but you can see that you'd be able to see movement. Yeah, with tipping table, it to be fingernails on tipping table, not necessarily your flans on table. Well, you have to have some false nails on them. But yeah, it's just so open. Sheila made her own pendulum with a small crystal. Do you know, Sheila, I was looking online, you don't actually have to use this as a pendulum. I can use my dad's ring as a pendulum if I want to. You can actually use anything as a pendulum. You can use a needle on a bit of string.
About a bauble tree.
Could use a bauble off. You could use a bauble off tree. You can use anything for a pendulum, just as long as that you're putting your energy and the right energy into it. You're using it for right.
On leave.
Shut up. I've got two more different ones to the one I sent you, which I'm sending you for Chelsea. Yeah, I've got that one, and again, that one's got like a tree of life on Julian. That one, I'm cleansing that at the minute because I need to get my energy into it. Amy's put, I am too scientific minded for metaphysical instruments. To me, anything that involves human interaction in order to work to contact spirits is not reliable enough to be taken as ready. But then again, for me, anything that we do to communicate with spirits is not reliable enough, because that's the point. There's no scientific backing to anything that anybody does with spirits, whether it's to do with
use broken radios,
broken radios is toy,
broken radios and toys.
Broken radios and toys is what we use.
Yeah, there is a lot of layers. There is a lot of layers to the paranormal. Like you got the spiritual side, and you got the science side. Do you know? And sometimes the spirit side and the science side don't gel in a kind of a way. It's kind of like two separate entities in a kind of way, just similar to like the comment that was just mentioned. I'm more into the science side. I don't go near reach boards and stuff like that. But there is there's so many layers. It's like the paranormal field as a whole. It's like an onion. There's so many layers to it, and so many specialized different fields as well. And
so many different beliefs. Just because one person. Just because I'm not saying I believe in the pendulum, but because I work with pendulum. I do believe in results from pendulum. I've got people in chat now, Sheila and who else was it other night? With Vonnie, with Mandy as well. No, it were Janice, I think. And we did communicate. We did get it wasn't a strong connection, but there were things that come out that I couldn't have known any of it. Do you know what I mean? So I do believe in pendulum, but again, I suppose it depends on that spiritual level that you're in. I think my spiritual level will be different to what Amy's is. It'll be different to what Mandy's
like
is.
Richard Felix,
it'll be different to what Chelsea's, yours, and John's is. Do you know? So I think it does make a difference on the belief system of the person using the equipment that they use. I have. Oh, you'll have to send us some pictures, Sheila. Richard Felix is good to listen to, how he explains energy. He puts it so well without using religion or belief. Exactly, Mandy, and I think that's what you've got to do. I don't think you should be bringing religion or belief into anything to do with paranormal, because
I don't know, belief's a different thing.
But religion, I think religion is a thing. What do you two think?
I think definitely everybody has their own interpretation of something, and as John and yourself say, Lindsay, about religion, you know, to me, somebody's religion isn't going to affect the way that the pendulum works. People's beliefs might, because that's their belief. So yeah, I think there's a lot that science can't explain, and I think a lot of it is down to our interpretation and our knowledge about using the objects and things like that, the things that we do use, and again, people's perception of things.
Yeah, Sam?
Dude, it was about a year ago, I came across that conflict between belief and scientific fact, and it was people that I watch, and they believed they got in contact with a little girl, and they wanted to cross them over, and I went ballistic in the chat, and I said, "There's no scientific basis to this happening. You're just copying other people doing the same thing." And then I actually got upset, because actually what I was doing was I was actually trampling on a spiritual belief, which I shouldn't have done. And I got very upset about it. When I'm wrong like that, it really hurts me deep in my heart. And I rang them afterwards, and I says, "Listen, I'm really, really sorry about what I just said. You know, I'm sorry, because I actually trampled on your beliefs. I don't believe in this crossing over stuff. I believe a lot of people who copy other people, just like a lot of the stuff on the paranormal on YouTube, people copy other people. I started off that way myself, you know. So it's a difficult one. But for me, I'm just keeping things simple. I'm looking into the things like EVP, Spirit Box, and now I'm looking into visuals and stuff like that. I'm just going to stay with that rather than...
But that's staying true to what your belief is, though, Sam. Like Chelsea says, do you know what I mean? That's like staying true to who you are. You're not going to be... you're not going to do something just because the 20 other teams are doing it. You're doing it because this is what this is where you believe. Where your experiments are taking you.
I remember I fell out with a team, and there was a bit of drama involved, and I tried to sort it out. I left it a couple of months, and I sorted it out in the proper manner. Messages and stuff like that, and everything's fine now. And it was a team, you probably all watched them at some stage, that don't believe in any of the gadgets, and the thing I was upset about was the way that they slated it, but they are gradually sort of changing their tone and stuff like that. But they believed, go out with a camera and your audio equipment, none of this other crap. And that's the way they had originally put it. And because we were messaging over and back, I began to see their point of view as well.
Yeah.
So I've taken that into my investigations to, audio and visual, two most important things. That's your fishing net. That's what you're going to catch your fish with, your paranormal evidence with. But if people choose to use trigger objects, that's what these REM pods and the EMF meters are. They're trigger objects. They're not interested in that, but we are. Because something is manipulating these devices. Sometimes they can be debunked, sometimes they can't. And that's the interesting part of it,
See, we've tried all sorts to trigger REM bear. I mean, REM bear for us, it's brand new battery in every time we use her anyway. We don't put, all equipment we use, it's all got brand new batteries, all charged, aren't they? They're all rechargeable batteries, so everything's charged up. But sometimes when that REM bear goes off and Scully goes off, there is no explanation for them to be going off. And especially when they're like responding, when you ask them to step back and then you ask them if you ask a question and they can light it up. Last 4 times we've gone out, I don't think flashy balls have gone off once. And we've been out in rain. We've been out in where grass has been wet, where wind's been blowing, and then flashy balls haven't gone off once. But yet, 6 days ago, balls were going off quite regular, but then we've had nothing on them. So to me, I look at it as it's got to have been something, because if they were going to constantly go off, they would be constantly going off all the time. They wouldn't just go off randomly, because there is no timer in them. Now, I'm not saying that there isn't a bug or there isn't something that goes near them, but if you leave a ball out, say in middle of room floor, and you know for a fact that you've got no animals near it or anything, and I don't know, a fly lands on it, that might not trigger it off. You've got to do experiments within experiments, if you know what I mean. I mean, a fly would trigger it off, I think, a ball.
Actually, I can tell you exactly how these are made up, because I have one dismantled, and I don't know if you can see it, but there's a tiny... Right, hold on a second. I'm trying to block out the light. There's a battery unit, a couple of little things, and there's a tiny little spring here.
Yeah.
It's a switch, basically. That spring touches a certain part on that circuit, and it triggers off. So basically, that spring, which is, it's hair-like, that spring which I have stretched, that spring has to touch a certain part on the circuit board.
A certain part,
You know?
So when balls are going off then, and ball hasn't moved, for ball to flash then, is it just a coincidence, or is it something I mean, again, I don't think we can answer that one, can we, 100%? Because I think, again, views on that is some people are going to say, no, they're a load of bollocks. Other people are going to say, well, if it's flashing for responses,
I only used them once.
I mean, you used them on beach, didn't you, Sam?
Yeah, and they were sort of thrown down with force, so they were embedded in sand. And I zoomed in on the footage, and those balls didn't move.
Yeah,
you know, and I did take out a vibration meter. You know, one of them. I can't remember what the vibration thing. You know, they're in a. There's an EMF thing on it as well. I can't remember what they call it. They're an expensive box. It does a number of different things at once. We tried that.
Yeah.
It is, yeah. We tried that to see the waves from the tide coming in and out. Did they cause any vibration?
Yeah.
There was no vibration. through the sand. The sand is a kind of like a shock absorber, so it was very interesting. I don't think the balls moved, but they did trigger off, you know. So I think the internals.
Yeah, I think, like, again, it's one of them, though, isn't it, Sam? I mean, if it's like, I think we've all said it. It's good if we can get other pieces of equipment going off with each other. So, you know, like when we've had balls going off and bears gone off for us at the same time. I mean, that didn't that happen the other week when we were all out? Bear went off and balls were flashing, and then all balls started flashing. That were right interesting, that, because everything were happening all at once.
You asked that to happen. So to me, that's like an intelligent response.
Yeah, because there's something happening. The objects, but it would. It's like you said. I think for alt tech, I think, like you said, even down to EVPs have got to be so clear, because we've seen ourselves how easy EVP can be manipulated.
On mistake.
Not on purpose, but like rubbing your arm on your jacket, Sam, or
if you have it on a low quality,
you know what I mean?
You know what I mean?
We've seen that. Yeah, we have seen that actually being done. We've even seen people not debunking, but showing you how that's done. If somebody just moves the foot across floor.
Yeah, I've seen that video, and that actually.
I mean, that was really interesting, that video.
Yeah. The low bit recording that those recorders do, the theory around it is the recording it struggles so much that there is an internal noise, and the frequency within that internal noise creates the background audio support to create the EVP. But the problem is, when you go to analyze it, the audio quality is so bad that you cannot stretch it, you cannot enhance it, you cannot slow it down, because it's so bad. So the older researchers believed that good quality recording with an external noise, do you know, like a static from a radio. Sometimes when we go out, we have internal noises around us, internal frequencies that we're not aware of them because we're that used to them. You know, I live on a busy road here, and I think it's quiet in here until I go out to the countryside where there's no traffic. And you know, the way if you uplift it and stuff like that, that's because I'm having less external, less noise. Even the noise of your fans and stuff like that, that creates the noises sometimes that is used to create EVP. So when you have external noise, that's controllable. But if you have an internal noise from a low bit recorder, that's uncontrollable and very hard. If you have an EVP that's very, very hard to hear, to try and enhance it on software, it's sometimes extremely difficult, where it's easier if you have the external noise because it's controlled, you know?
I just think it's all fascinating, isn't it? I think that's what I love about with paranormal and experiments that we do. I just think that it's all going to lead us somewhere, whether it leads us to full apparitions. No, but I mean, there's no. But the thing is, if say Sam or us or another team caught a full apparition, there'll be 100 teams on that person saying, "Load of bollocks! They've done this. It's trick of this and everything else." Do you know? Did I swear then? Yeah. Oh, I didn't mean to swear. I didn't even know I swore. It's like, but again, like Andy says, we do go around and train. We do look for the debunking. If there's wind blowing, we'll set wind blown, or it could be wind because, you know. So we do look for debunking while we're there. But yeah, Dawn, it did. It where Island and the canal went off, and then different balls were going off when we asked them to. The balls were moved to make sure they weren't being triggered by something. Yeah, that's another thing that you do. But yeah, I mean, this conversation we can have all night.
Yeah. Do you know we're in a technology age, and I says to Rachel in an interview I done with her is, you know, the reason why I don't edit down my videos and I give everybody 100%, which could be 3 or 4 hours, which you know, that's the time I spent. Maybe we don't get some of the evidence, but what's to say technology in the future could be used to extract evidence that we can't actually extract, if you know what I'm coming from.
Yeah.
Do you know?
Exactly.
Are we going to have the software to see? Do you know when say if a device goes off, is there a spirit there, and will there be software in the future that'll say, well, you see, the spirit went over, and you know.
Exactly. Yes.
I know it's very far fetched, but so was mobile phones with no buttons on them, which took a while for me to get my head around.
Yeah.
You know, way back years ago, you know, Knight Rider, the car with all the buttons and that was supposed to be futuristic. The future was going to be all these buttons, but the future is no buttons. It's screens, you know?
Yeah, it is screens. But even cars now are button keys and stuff like touch screen cars, and you know what I mean? You look back on it, but think changes are coming. So, but yeah. But right, I think what we're going to do, guys, because it's been 2 hours and 5 minutes. So I want to thank Sam for coming on. If anybody wants to pop over to YouTube, Sam puts all the videos up on YouTube. Everything that Sam's done to look back on. Sam also does a lot of work with tech, Amy, where he'll go on and do experiments and stuff. Talking about different pieces of equipment, which actually, Sam, we will get you and Andy on, I think, one night and have a talk with you and Andy, us lot, and Andy, get Andy on screen as well. Because I know a lot of ours, we've been on face side of things, on elemental side of things as well. We have had a couple of things. We were out with Andy the other night, weren't we? And we picked up on elemental energies, but I think that's because Andy were with us and they were connecting to Andy's energy rather than ours. So yeah, I think it's going to be a good night to have everybody back on, and we'll do a proper tech night, I think, and have a talk about well, we'll just continue this conversation. So yeah, so I'll let everybody else I'll let you lot say good night, and then we'll finish off and say good night. So yeah, go on then, Sam.
Bye everybody. Thanks very much.
You're supposed to say love you loads.
I love you.
Like, share, and subscribe.
I don't do the like and subscribe thing. You want to watch, you want to watch. If you don't want to watch, you don't want to watch. That's
I'll
fine.
say it then. Like, share, and subscribe. Go on, Chelsea.
Thank you, Sam. Good night, everybody. Sorry I can't see your comments, so if you've commented, I'm sorry. But good night. Love you, love.
You don't want to see what they're putting about you anyway.
No, Chelsea. They put some great stuff about you, Chelsea. By the way, I'm coming for that blanket. If I come to our house and that blanket's not there when you come home from work, you know I've took it. So I'll get your heads up now.
That black blanket.
Right, thank you so much for joining us tonight. I hope you've all had a good night. We will rearrange for everybody to come back on. We will be live tomorrow night at 8 o'clock, and we will be looking at doing something over on members in the daytime. So take care, everybody. Thank you, everybody, for joining. Mwah. Love you loads. See you soon.
Bye.
I'll let John ask.
I don't broadcast properly.